Ahoy there! We are just back from our trip in Grandma's Suburban, driving from Rapid City, South Dakota, all the way up here to Los Anchorage. And first order of business was swinging here by the Freightliner dealer. And look who we got back in the family. They got us squared away, and I got to tell you what, their dealer here in Anchorage, Alaska, these guys did a great job. They ain't cheap, but they did a good job. So, but first, we're going to run this baby over and see if we can clean up our act a little bit. This is so cool having the Denali Adventure Bus next to us. Anyhow, just because we're at the dealer doesn't mean we don't do our morning checks. So, always start in the front, checking the antifreeze, which is perfect, about that far down. All right, head in and take care of the rest. Oh my God, look at the wheels. You used to be able to see yourself in these babies. All right. Shit. Sit rep. So the ignition key that I never take out, they took it out, and now I know why I never took it out. It won't go back in. So tried a bunch, but I don't know if you can see that. The key's actually broken.
No, hold it up where you did.
I don't know if you can see the light through it. Yeah, Aaron told us never to take it out. I don't know. Who knows if I remember to say don't take it out, but anyway, it's out. And I'll mess with it a little bit more, but more than likely I'm gonna have to take this apart before we can go anywhere. The joy of ownership of a 40-year-old or however old this is bus. But you just keep working through it.
So Larry had to take apart this little console once again, where the air controls were, the ignition, the shifter. The wiring under there was quite complicated because you really could not see underneath there without taking even more of the dashboard apart. But Larry got it taken apart, got the wires detached, but then the hard part was figuring out what wires went where on the ignition switch. That was fun. But eventually we figured it out. Unfortunately, we had to jerry-rig the ignition. He'll have to install a new ignition later on when we have some time, but we were able to get it on the road.
Ahoy there, car wash update in Los Anchorage, which is surprisingly chilly. It actually feels more like Kodiak than Los Anchorage. But anyway, look at this baby. So this is what our wheel looks like after we picked up the bus. These used to be a mirror shine, and actually this right rear one in particular was one of the ones I was working on real hard to get it real pretty. So I don't know, we're gonna see if we can clean that up. I'm not really sure what happened. Boy, and I gotta tell you, these new brakes, somebody open a window.
even our rim? Is that even our rim? You know what I mean? It looks like a different wheel.
Doesn't look bad.
Yeah, well, it does when it's the only wheel.
Ahoy there, good morning. We're at my cousin's place and we're going to see about trying to fix some corrosion from that solar issue. So we're going to take a look at the bus today because we know we've got issues. Well, we've got a lot of issues. When we installed the solar setup, we wound up with a secondary unintended consequence of the sulfuric acid of the batteries charging all the time. It's really caused some issues down here. In particular, you can see I got my stuff set up a little bit already. Oh, these old knees love bending over. See this rust up here? We thought this was from poor body work back when we did this repair, and it turns out, well, that's probably part of it. If you can see down here, all this rust and corrosion and all this white stuff, that's no bueno. And yeah, even the latch for where the other strut goes rotted away. And all this happened because there's just too much charging going on, and this thing is not vented. So, you know, I thought, hell, I'll just pull the light out, but I can't even do that because this thing's glued in. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to suspend this thing open, and I'm just going to try to clean it up, and figured you guys might like to see how I go about doing that. So our buddy Adam down at Breakwater Marine, who installed the solar, has a pretty good idea for what we can do to get around this issue. And well, obviously we talked about going with lithium. We made sure the system could handle it, but unfortunately our bank account cannot. So lithium's off the table now, and what we're going to be doing instead is going with AGM sealed batteries, aggregate fiberglass mat or something. I can't remember what that stands for, something like that. Switch to the sealed batteries and hopefully knock out this corrosion issue. So since I'm working here in my cousin's driveway, I brought some just, you know, paper towels just so I don't make too much of a mess on their driveway. And I'll start with this probably. Jen had a pretty good idea. Rather than that wimpy paper towel, since my cousin recently moved, he's got a lot of cardboard. So we're going to use some cardboard to try to, you know, do a good job of protecting that driveway. Then I can use these towels as rags. This old guy shouldn't be getting down like this. I may not be able to get back up. All right, so here's what I'm using for this project. I'm using a brush. I think this one's copper, but it could just be any old wire brush to knock off all the big junk. Then I'm using these NOCO products, battery cleaner and the corrosion preventative. This is the stuff I call monkey blood in the military for spraying on batteries to keep them from corroding. And this is the stuff to help clean the corrosion. So it's more intended for actually on the battery, but see if I can clean this up. Boy, look at that. Looks like I'm scraping a ship. Sure fortunate that these buses are built with such thick metal that there's still metal left. So I could probably use a rust converter, and I might still do that because there's a lot more rust than I expected. Try to save whatever metal we have left. So since there's so much rust, I'm going to not use the corrosion cleaner yet. I'm going to get some rust converter so I can try to turn some of this into something structural. And then we'll come back and then we'll take care of the rest of the corrosion as we go through. Because I don't want to take off any more metal than I have to, and you know, I've got the flaky stuff off. Yeah, I think that's gonna be the, wow, I think that's a screw right there. It's amazing how this has just kind of exploded. Hopefully this still works. Oh, yep, this still moves, so. What's funny is no corrosion on the actual battery itself. It's just from the off-gassing. It's doing all right. It's just the bottom because, you know, this is charging, it's venting. This is probably where the air is able to get out. And since the air is getting out that way, that's where it's getting concentrated the most. So, yeah, we need some rust converter to finish this job. So, you know, as normal. I don't know if you guys ever seen us start a job that we've been able to just start and finish. That's just life. I still got the ignition to put back together too. But you know what? Wouldn't trade it for anything. So we'll get back with you once we get our act together a little bit and get some rust converter. So, you know, when you're in Alaska, sometimes you work with what you can get. In this case, I was looking and I thought, you know, I said to myself, this is more just rust than corrosion. So maybe the corrosion cleaner isn't the best thing for this part. It is for a part back here that I can't reach. So I'm going to spray corrosion cleaner in the back, and I'm just going to hit the front with this, best I could find, Duplicolor Rust Fix. I don't know. Okay, so my corrosion cleaner I'm going to spray back here where I can't reach with anything else. It says it turns pink on contact with acid, and just like I figured, there's really no acid here. It's all just from corrosion. So the rest we're going to hit with this stuff, and then we're going to get out of here before the bugs destroy us. All right, and now because we're getting eaten alive, we're going to get the heck out of here. Really appreciate you guys coming along, watching as we suffer, in hopes that someday we're actually going to use this as a bus again. Oh, hi there. Back here in Los Anchorage. Had to go home and work on the island there for a little bit. Now we're back because one thing we noticed when we brought the bus back out, here, let's take a look. As you can see here, that's looking a little rough. We're like, what is going on? What I think happened, and I'm going to verify in a second here, I think this is one of our inner wheels and it's on the outside. So I'm going to crawl under here and take a look and see if that's the case. Wow, that's hard to see. Yep, that's it. You can see some shiny chrome in there. Appreciate the boys that are wanting to rotate our tires for us, but all right, let's go.
Oh, hey, slow down. Hold on. I need to brush you.
What?
Oh my goodness.
I'm fine.
No, you're not. Stop.
All right, so we're back at Peterbilt. Gonna give it another shot here, see if they can get that wheel turned back into chrome. Little Almond. All right, so an unexpected turn of events. These guys are so awesome. They're like, yeah, we're gonna get that taken care of for you, and we can help you with another problem that cropped up while it was here as well. So they said, just go ahead and drop it off. So I'm gonna do that. And so these guys are great. So from Chugiak, Alaska, remember, be kind.